The body tired, but the mind wide awake. Thoughts racing like cars on a freeway with no stoplights. Every memory replaying. Every what if looping. Every mistake magnified. You're trying to sleep, but your brain's still scrolling, opening tab after tab after tab. And now you stuck in the Overthinkers Hour, where silence don't sound like peace. It sound like pressure. You know the vibe. You lay down, lights off, phone on the nightstand, but your spirit still got 50 browsers open. Did I say the wrong thing in that conversation? Did I forget something important? What if tomorrow collapses before I even get there? And instead of sleep, you build scenarios. Instead of rest, you rehearse regrets. Midnight becomes mental warfare. But fam, let's be real. Peace don't wait for permission slips. Peace don't check your schedule or ask your anxiety for approval. Peace shows up bold. Peace knocks on the door at 2 a.m. and says, "Let me in." And the tragedy is, most of us don't open the door. We treat peace like a guest that got to earn its spot in the room when really peace already paid rent. Jesus signed the lease with his blood, which means you ain't waiting for peace to arrive. You just learning to accept what's already yours. The Overthinkers Hour exposes the lie that you got to fix everything before you can rest, that you got to earn stillness, that you got to solve every equation in your head before your soul qualifies for quiet. Nah, fam. Peace don't need your math. Peace don't need your permission. Peace don't wait for you to finish thinking through every outcome. Peace simply is. And the question ain't whether peace exists. The question is whether you gonna stop overthinking long enough to let it hold you. So welcome to the Overthinkers Hour. Tonight ain't about chasing answers, it's about choosing rest. Tonight ain't about fixing every what if, it's about discovering the God is. And if you lean in, if you let go, you're gonna find out that peace been knocking all along, waiting for you to open the door. Fam, the word already spoke to the overthinkers out. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Catch that. Peace that guards, not peace that negotiates, not peace that waits for you to calm down first. Peace that posts up like security at the door of your soul. In Isaiah 26:3, it says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." Which means peace don't come from overplanning, overthinking, or overworking. Peace comes from trust. The Hebrew there literally paints a picture of a mind leaned, rested, fixed on God. And in that posture, peace is not optional. It's promised. But here's the kicker. Neither of those scriptures say peace is delayed until circumstances change. They don't say peace waits until the bill's paid, the diagnosis reversed, the relationship fixed. Nah, peace shows up in the storm, in the questions, in the 2 a.m. racing thoughts. Peace ain't about what's happening around you. It's about who's holding you through it. So when your brain telling you we can't rest until we solve this, the word interrupts and says rest is already solved in Christ. When your mind runs the what if highlight reel, the word says perfect peace belongs to the one who trusts. And when your soul starts asking permission to breathe, the word says you already got clearance. This foundation is solid. Peace is not earned, it's inherited. It's not delayed, it's delivered. It don't need your permission to exist. It only needs your trust to operate. And once you anchor in that truth, overthinking loses its power. You ever had too many tabs open on your computer? Screen cluttered, little icons stacked so tight you can't even read the titles. System slowing down, battery dying, fan running loud trying to keep up. And you know good and well half those tabs been sitting there for days, but you scared to close them, because maybe, just maybe, you'll need that page later. That's what overthinking feels like. Your mind got 100 tabs open. Conversations from yesterday, worries about tomorrow, That one thing you said in 2017 that still replay like it just happened. Every scenario sitting there on the screen of your soul, draining your energy, crashing your system. And the wild part, none of those tabs bringing you peace. They just running in the background, stealing power from the present moment. But here's the truth, fam. You weren't built to run that many tabs. God designed your mind to function best when it's fixed on Him, not scattered in 100 directions. That's why Isaiah said, perfect peace for the mind stayed on you. Stayed, not scattered, stayed, not scrolling through infinite what ifs. Peace ain't about closing every tab perfectly. It's about choosing one window, His presence. And overthinking tricks you. It makes you believe, if I just keep all these thoughts open, I'll stay safe. I won't forget. I won't get blindsided. But really, you not protecting yourself. You sabotaging yourself. Just like a computer crashing from overload, your spirit start freezing when you juggle too much. That's why Jesus said, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Rest is like hitting close all tabs. You don't lose what matters. You just stop drowning in what doesn't. So maybe the problem ain't that you think too much. It's that you won't let go of thoughts that never served you in the first place. And the invitation of peace is simple. Close the tab. Trust God to keep what matters. Let Him refresh the page. Because the truth is, your soul runs smoother when you let Him manage the browser of your mind. You ever hit replay on a song so many times the melody starts sounding warped? At first it's your favorite track. You sing along, you catch every line, but play it 50 times in a row and suddenly it don't feel like music no more. It feel like noise. That's what overthinking does with your memories. It takes one scene, one mistake, one conversation, and runs it back till it don't even sound like truth anymore. You replay what you should have said, what you wish you did different. That awkward moment at work, that argument at home, that decision from 5 years ago, you loop it until guilt stretches it out of proportion, until shame turns one bad choice into your whole identity. And all of a sudden, your brain ain't just reliving the past, it's revising it, distorting it, poisoning your peace. But here's the thing, God already pressed stop. Psalm 103 verse 12 says, as far as the east is from the west, so far has He removed our transgressions from us. That means the track you keep replaying, heaven don't even got it in the playlist anymore, but your mind's still DJing guilt like it's the only record available. And until you surrender that loop, you'll keep mistaking noise for reality. Think about it like a courtroom. You already been acquitted. Judge slammed the gavel. Case dismissed. But you still sitting there rereading the charges over and over like the trial never ended. That's what overthinking does. It keeps you on trial for a case God already closed. And peace can't step in until you stop relitigating your own life. So maybe tonight the challenge ain't to erase the memory, it's to mute the loop. To believe that if God declared not guilty, you ain't required to replay the evidence anymore. Overthinking plays reruns, but peace premieres new episodes. And you'll never see what's next if you keep watching the same old tape. You ever sat staring at that little buffering wheel on your screen? The video stuck, spinning in circles, loading, but never playing. You jiggle the mouse, refresh the page, even restart the Wi-Fi, but the wheel just keeps going, round and round. Nothing moving forward, nothing playing out. That's exactly how overthinking feels at 2 a.m. Your mind got a wheel spinning, but no solution loading. You review the conversation. You plot out 10 possible outcomes. You imagine every what-if scenario like a movie script. But at the end, still stuck. Still sitting in the same bed, staring at the same ceiling, with no progress made. And now you're not only tired, you're frustrated. Like, why won't my brain just let it go? Here's the truth. The wheel spins because the system's trying to process more than it can handle. Same with your soul. You overloaded. You trying to carry outcomes you were never designed to control. And overthinking tricks you into believing that if you just spin it one more time, maybe the answer will finally load. But peace don't come from spinning. It comes from stopping, from handing the wheel to God and saying, Lord, you take it. Isaiah 55:8 reminds us, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Which means some things ain't loading because they ain't yours to process. You sitting there spinning, but God already got the file downloaded. He already sees the ending. He already holds the answer. And until you trust that, your mind gonna keep running circles while your spirit runs on empty. So hear me, fam. The buffering wheel of your mind is optional. You don't have to keep watching it spin. Tonight, you got permission to hit exit full screen and walk away. You got the right to rest while God streams the outcome in his own timing. The Overthinkers Hour wants you stuck, but peace wants you still. And stillness is where the picture finally clears. Here's the thing about overthinking, fam. It don't just keep you awake, it keeps you chained. Overthinking is worry dressed up in logic. It makes you feel productive while you going nowhere. You convince yourself, if I just think harder, if I just play every scenario, maybe I'll find peace. But really, all you find is exhaustion. Overthinking drains you like leaving the lights on in a house nobody in. Power wasting, energy burning, but no progress being made. See, the lie of overthinking is control. It whispers, if you keep rehearsing, you can prevent disaster, DDD. If you keep analyzing, you can protect yourself from pain. But that's a trap. Jesus himself said in Matthew 6:27, can any one of you by worrying add a single hour to your life? Translation, you can't think your way into safety. You can't plan your way into peace. Peace is not the child of control. It's the gift of surrender. But overthinking don't stop easy, because our brains crave certainty. We want answers before outcomes. We want clarity before commitment. And when God don't hand us the blueprint, we panic. We fill the silence with our own theories, our own predictions, our own fears. And the more we try to cover every angle, the less covered we feel. That's why 2 a.m. feels like a war zone. Your mind trying to play God while your spirit's starving for God. And fam, here's the raw truth. You can't worship and worry at the same time. You can't hold control in one hand and peace in the other. Something gotta drop. And most nights we drop peace. We let anxiety rule. We let control drive, and then we wonder why sleep don't come. It ain't just insomnia, it's idolatry. Idolatry of self, believing your mind got to do what only God can. So let's name it. Overthinking is not harmless, and it's poison. It steals your hours. It sabotages your health. It suffocates your faith. And until you see it as a thief, you gonna keep letting it squat in the house of your soul rent-free. But tonight, we gonna evict it. 'Cause peace don't need permission, and overthinking don't deserve ownership. Fam, overthinking got a twin brother, and his name is perfectionism. The two run together like a tag team. Overthinking says, what if I fail? Perfectionism says, you not allowed to. Overthinking plays out worst case scenarios. Perfectionism tells you anything less than flawless ain't acceptable. And between the two, peace don't even get a seat at the table. Perfectionism whispers, don't move until you know it's right. Don't speak until you got the perfect words. Don't rest until every box is checked. So you freeze. You sit paralyzed, staring at the ceiling, running loops of potential mistakes. Instead of living, you rehearsing. Instead of acting, you analyzing. And you wonder why you can't breathe easy. You chained to an impossible standard your soul was never meant to carry. But here's the truth. God never asked for perfection. He asked for faith. Psalm 34:18 says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That don't sound like he waiting for perfect. That sound like he leaning into the imperfect, the messy, the ones who admit they don't got it all together, which means the very thing you try to hide, your flaws, is the thing that makes space for his presence. And perfectionism is sneaky. It disguises itself as responsibility. You tell yourself, I'm just trying to do it right. But really, it's fear of failure running the show. And fear is a terrible boss. It never pays, it never rests, it never satisfies. You can give fear your whole night, your whole body, your whole piece, and it still demand more. So let's call it perfectionism ain't holy, it's heavy. Overthinking tells you to calculate every outcome, and perfectionism tells you none of them are good enough. But peace interrupts both and says, I don't need your perfect, I need your trust. And until you believe that, you're going to keep spinning in circles, exhausting yourself for a finish line God never set. Let's be real, fam. Under every overthought scenario, under every sleepless night, under every loop that won't quit, there's fear. Not just fear of the unknown, but fear of failing. Fear that if you drop the ball, everything gon' collapse. Fear that if you make the wrong move, you gon' ruin the whole plan. And that fear, it's the engine driving your overthinking. You see it in how you second guess every decision. Simple choices feel like life or death. Should I send this email now or later? Should I phrase it this way or that way? You replay it 10 times before you hit send. And after you do, you still worry you messed up. That's not wisdom. That's fear dressing up like responsibility. And fear keeps you running like a hamster on a wheel, burning energy but going nowhere. But here's the problem. Fear of failure assumes you the one holding the world together. Like if you get it wrong, God's whole plan gonna fall apart. Fam, that's pride in disguise. Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Translation, you don't got that much power. You can make mistakes, you can stumble, you can even fail, but God's purpose still gon' stand. Failure don't scare him. Only pride convinces you it all depends on you. And here's the cycle. Fear tells you, don't risk it. Overthinking says, let's run it through one more time. And before you know it, years pass with no movement. Dreams stall. Relationships strain. Opportunities slip. Not because God said no, but because fear kept you stuck rehearsing instead of living. So, let's call it what it is. Fear of failure ain't protecting you, it's paralyzing you. It's robbing your rest, hijacking your faith, stealing nights that could have been peaceful. And until you put fear back in its place, overthinking gon' keep running the night shift in your soul. But peace don't ask fear for permission. It shows up and shuts it down. Here's the bottom line, fam. Overthinking is really about control. Deep down, you believe if you just think hard enough, plan deep enough, prepare far enough, you can outsmart pain. You can dodge failure. You can guarantee safety. But that's a lie. And worse, it's a heavy one. Because trying to control what only God can control don't bring peace. It kills it. You see it when you map out every conversation before it happens. When you write the script for tomorrow in your head, then panic because the other person ain't read their lines. You try to choreograph life like a dance, but everybody else freestyling. And when it don't go the way you pictured, frustration sets in. Not because God failed, but because your illusion of control cracked. That illusion is dangerous. It makes you think peace comes from perfect plans. But Proverbs 16:9 says, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Translation, your blueprint might look neat, but only God can actually build the house. And the more you cling to your script, the less you leave room for his. Control squeezes peace out like oxygen leaving a room. And here's the cycle. Overthinking makes you clutch tighter. Clutching makes you anxious when things don't fit your script. Anxiety drives more overthinking, round and round till your soul too dizzy to rest. You ain't just tired, you trapped. That's why 2 a.m. feels suffocating, 'cause you trying to sit on a throne too big for you, and your spirit knows it. But here's the truth. Peace don't need your permission, and it sure don't need your control. Peace shows up when you release control. When you admit, Lord, I can't run the universe. I can't even run my own thoughts, but I trust you can. That's when the wheel stops spinning. That's when rest returns. That's when freedom finally breathes again. So let's say it plain. Control is a thief, not a comfort. And until you let go of the illusion, peace gonna keep knocking on the door while you too busy guarding locks that never belong to you. Fam, here's the flip. Peace ain't earned, it's inherited. It don't show up once you've solved every equation in your head. It don't wait till the calendar clears or the storm dies down. Peace comes the moment you stop trying to manage what was never yours to carry. The moment you trade control for trust. The moment you realize God never asked you to fix it, he asked you to rest in him. See, anxiety says, work harder. Peace says, be still. Anxiety says, play out every scenario. Peace says, trust the author who already wrote the ending. Anxiety makes you feel like your approval is the ticket for rest. But peace kicks the door open and says, I'm here whether you invited me or not. That's why the word calls it the peace that passes understanding. It don't make sense. It don't follow your logic. It don't wait for your permission slip. It just shows up and guards your mind like a soldier at midnight. And here's the key. Peace don't mean the storm stopped. It means you stopped drowning in it. Peace don't mean the questions answered. It means the questions lost their power to torment. Peace don't mean you got clarity. It means you got covering. And once you let that sink in, you're going to realize the battle ain't in your circumstances. It's in your decision to rest. So tonight, let the turning point be this. Stop waiting for peace to knock. Open the door. Stop asking what if and start confessing God is. Peace ain't asking your thoughts for approval. It's asking your spirit to trust. And the moment you say yes, peace takes its rightful place. Not as a guest, but as family. Not as a visitor, but as a guard. Peace don't need permission, fam. It just needs your surrender. Here's what the word said, fam. Peace is not passive, it's protective. Philippians 4:7 didn't just call it peace, it called it a guard. Like a soldier on duty, posted up around your heart and your mind. Which means peace ain't some fragile vibe you hope lasts till morning. Peace is security detail, stand and watch when you too tired to keep fighting your thoughts. Picture it like this. Your mind a neighborhood. Overthinking is the burglar creeping down the block, checking every window, jiggling every door. But peace is the guard at the gate, arms folded, eyes sharp, authority in his stance. When anxiety tries to sneak in, peace says, not tonight. When fear shows up knocking, peace steps forward and blocks the way. You don't beg peace to protect you. It's already on assignment. You just gotta let it do its job. And here's the beauty. You ain't the one hiring peace. God himself sent it. Jesus said in John 14:27, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Boss, that means peace ain't rented. It's gifted. It ain't circumstantial. It's covenant. And the peace he gives is strong enough to outlast the storm and stand guard when your own strength run out. So flip how you see it. Peace ain't fragile. It's ferocious. It don't need your mind to calm down first. It calms your mind for you. It don't need your situation to change. It changes how you stand in the situation. Peace is heaven's soldier, already deployed, already armed, already faithful. And once you embrace that, you gon' stop treating peace like a maybe and start living like it's your guarantee. So tonight, hear this. You not unprotected. You not vulnerable to every anxious thought that passes through. Peace is on duty. Peace is posted. And peace don't need your permission to guard the house of your soul. Fam, peace ain't just protection, it's inheritance. Something Jesus already wrote into your spiritual will. Something signed, sealed, and delivered by his blood, which means it's not up for negotiation. Nobody can repossess it. Circumstances can't cancel it. And your own mistakes don't void the contract. Peace is yours by birthright in the kingdom. Think about inheritance in the natural. When a parent leaves property to their child, it don't matter if the child feels worthy that day. It's still theirs. They don't gotta re-earn it every morning. The paperwork already filed. The name already on the deed. All they gotta do is step into what's legally theirs. That's what peace is for you. Already written in your name. Already guaranteed by covenant. But here's the trap. We treat peace like a paycheck, like we gotta clock in enough hours of prayer, rack up enough good Christian points, and then maybe God will pay out in peace. But peace don't come from wages, it comes from grace. Romans 5:1 says, since we have been justified through faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. That peace ain't performance-based, it's promise-based, and the enemy knows it. That's why he tries to make you doubt what's already yours. He can't steal your inheritance, so he tricks you into leaving it unclaimed. He whispers, you too broken, you too guilty, you too messy. But the truth is, your name's still on the will, and peace still belongs to you, whether you feel qualified or not. So tonight, stop asking permission to access what Jesus already died to give you. Stop waiting till you feel worthy to let peace in. Your worth was settled at the cross. Peace is already in the account. You just gotta withdraw it by faith. Inheritance don't need approval. It just needs acceptance. Fam, don't get it twisted. Peace ain't passive. Peace is a weapon. It's not a soft blanket you curl under while life runs you over. It's a sword drawn, a shield lifted, a stance taken in the face of chaos. Peace don't just comfort you, it confronts the enemy. And that's why the devil fights so hard to keep you restless, 'cause he knows a believer at peace is a believer that's dangerous. Ephesians 6 talks about the armor of God. And right there, it says your feet should be fitted with the gospel of peace. Think about that. Your stability in battle comes from peace. Warriors can't fight slipping around barefoot. Soldiers don't march without boots. And in the spirit, peace is what keeps you planted when the storm tries to knock you off balance. Peace is traction. Peace is grip. Peace is what lets you stand your ground when fear comes swinging. And here's the thing, Fear throws noise at you. Anxiety screams worst case scenarios. Overthinking piles up what ifs till your mind feels like it's collapsing. But peace don't argue, it enforces. Peace steps in the room like a cop breaking up a riot saying, enough. It don't need to shout, 'cause its authority speaks for itself. When peace shows up, chaos gotta back up. So when you start feeling the spin at 2 a.m., remember this. Peace is not fragile, it's ferocious. It's not just comfort, it's combat. And every time you choose to rest, every time you breathe deep and whisper his name, every time you refuse to let fear run unchecked, you're not just calming down, you fighting back, you using the weapon Jesus placed in your hand. That's why peace don't need permission. It don't wait for circumstances to chill. It steps into the battle and claims territory. And the more you learn to wield it, the less ground the enemy gets to steal from your soul. Here's the last piece of the remix. Fam, peace ain't a prize you win, it's a gift you unwrap. A gift don't need to be earned. A gift don't show up with conditions. A gift is handed over free of charge with your name on it. And Jesus said plain in John 14:27, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. That means his peace ain't temporary, ain't fragile, ain't conditional. It's eternal, it's steady, and it's yours. But here's where we mess up. We treat peace like a subscription. Like if we miss a payment, it gets canceled. Like if we mess up, God snatch it back. But nah, fam. Peace is a gift sealed by grace. And grace don't expire. You didn't earn it, so you can't unearn it. The only way you miss it is by refusing to open what's already in your hands. Think about birthdays or Christmas. A wrapped present sitting there with your name on it don't do you no good if you never open it. You can stare at it, admire the bow, even carry it around, but until you unwrap it, you can't enjoy what's inside. That's how some of us live with peace. We talk about it, we sing about it, but we never unwrap it. We never say, Lord, I receive it. And so we live restless while peace sits unused. But here's the beauty. You can unwrap it right now. You don't gotta wait till the storm passes. You don't gotta wait till the morning light. At 2 a.m., in the thick of the Overthinkers Hour, you can whisper, Lord, I receive your peace. And instantly, the gift starts working, not because you earned it, but because he gave it. And when you finally live like peace's gift, not goal, you walk different, you breathe different, you rest different. So tonight, stop treating peace like a reward for good behavior, Matt. Start receiving it as the gift it already is. Unwrap it, embrace it, live it. 'Cause peace don't need your permission, it only needs your yes. Let's take it to Luke 10, fam. Jesus slid through the village and came to Martha and Mary's house. Martha busy, hustling in the kitchen, making sure everything on point. She's stressing about the menu, the plates, the details, heart racing, hands moving, thoughts spinning. Mary, she's sitting still right at Jesus' feet, No apron, no anxiety, no checklist, just resting in his presence. And Martha, frustrated, comes to Jesus like, Lord, don't you care that my sister left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. And what does Jesus say? Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Catch it? Martha's busyness looked responsible, but it robbed her peace. Mary's stillness looked unproductive, but it positioned her for blessing. Martha was overthinking the details. Mary was over resting in the presence. And Jesus made it clear. Peace don't need permission from productivity. It don't need your to-do list to be complete. It don't wait till the kitchen clean or the house perfect. Peace shows up wherever Jesus is welcomed. And here's the raw lesson. Martha thought peace came from control, but Mary knew peace came from surrender. Martha was waiting for her tasks to end before she could breathe. Mary breathed first, trusted Jesus first, sat down first, and in that posture she received what Martha missed. So, which one are you tonight? The one stressing in the kitchen of your mind, trying to juggle every task, every worry, every outcome? Or the one sitting still, choosing presence over performance? Jesus already told us which is better. Peace is not earned in your hustle. It's chosen in your stillness. And once you choose it, he promised it won't be taken away. All right, fam, here's the challenge. Be Mary in a Martha world. Tonight, before you lay back down, ask yourself, what's driving me right now, presence or performance? If it's performance, you're going to stay stuck in the kitchen of your thoughts, trying to get every dish perfect. But if it's presence, you're going to find yourself sitting at his feet, choosing the one thing that actually matters. First move, set the chair, literally. Find one spot in your room, maybe a corner, maybe next to your bed, and make it your Mary chair. Not a place for scrolling, not a place for stressing, just a place to sit and breathe and whisper his name. You don't need a whole hour. 2 minutes in that chair, focused on him, can shift your whole night. That physical space will remind you, peace don't wait on me to finish the checklist. Peace is here. Second move, drop one plate. Martha was spinning too many at once, and that's what broke her peace. So tonight, name one thought, one worry, one task you're going to lay down instead of juggling. Write it on paper if you have to, then fold it and set it aside. That's your symbolic plate drop. You letting it fall so you can keep your eyes on Jesus instead of trying to balance everything yourself. Third move, whisper the choice. Just like Mary chose presence, you got to say it out loud. Whisper, I choose peace tonight. I choose Jesus tonight. Your words matter. Your spirit listens to your voice. And when you declare it, you remind your own soul who's really in charge. Fam, peace don't wait till the house of your life spotless. It walks in the middle of the mess and sits down next to you. And if you dare to stop spinning plates long enough to sit with him, you gonna realize Martha's burden ain't yours to carry. You free to rest. You free to choose better. You free to let peace in. Here's another move, fam. Write the what ifs down, then hand them over. Overthinking thrives on loops. Your brain keeping the same scenarios running like a treadmill, burning energy but going nowhere. So the way to break the loop, take it out your head and put it on paper. Grab a notebook or even the notes app on your phone. Write every what if that's running circles in your mind. Don't edit it. Don't polish it. Just dump it. What if I lose this job? What if the bill don't get paid? What if they don't forgive me? What if tomorrow blows up? Put it all down raw. Then when you finish, pray over the list and say, Lord, these are yours now. That simple transfer from mind to paper to prayer breaks the cycle of rehearsing what you were never meant to control. Second part, trade the what if for the even if. What if I fail turns into even if I fail, God's still faithful. What if they leave turns into even if they do, God never will. That shift ain't small. It's spiritual warfare. Because the enemy loves to trap you in possibilities, but peace lives in promises. And promises always outweigh possibilities. Third part, close the book. After you pray, literally close the notebook or lock your phone and set it aside. That act tells your spirit the conversation is done. If the thoughts try to creep back, you can say, nope, it's written down and surrendered. I'm not replaying it. It's a simple step, but it's how you train your brain that rest is holy ground, not overthinking territory. So tonight, don't just sit there stuck in the spin. Write it, surrender it, and close it. That's how peace walks in. When you finally tell your thoughts they don't get the last word. Here's the last practice for the Overthinkers Hour fam. Breathe peace in, breathe fear out. Sounds simple, but it's holy work. Psalm 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. Not hustle harder, not figure it all out. Be still. And one of the easiest ways to step into stillness is through your breath. Here's how. Lay back, close your eyes, and take a slow inhale. As you breathe in, whisper, the Lord is my peace. Hold it. Let it settle. Then exhale slow, whispering, I release every fear. Do it again. Inhale, promise. Exhale, panic. Inhale, trust. Exhale, tension. Inhale, grace. Exhale, guilt. Every cycle of breath becomes a sermon your body preaches back to your soul. And after a few minutes, your nervous system starts catching up with your spirit. Peace becomes more than a thought. It becomes a rhythm. Second part, tie your breath to the word. Pick one scripture like Philippians 4:7 or Isaiah 26:3 and recite it on repeat as you breathe. He will keep me in perfect peace. Inhale the first half, exhale the second. The peace of God guards my heart and mind. Inhale promise, exhale prayer. The word ain't just information, it's oxygen. And when you lace it with your breath, it fills more than your head, it fills your whole being. Last part, practice gratitude in the pause. Between each breath, thank him. Thank you for keeping me. Thank you for holding me. Gratitude shifts focus. Instead of fixating on the what ifs, you anchor in the what is. And what is true tonight? You alive, you held, you loved. That's enough to rest. Fam, this is how you turn overthinking into overflow. Not by suppressing thoughts, but by replacing them with rhythms of peace. Every breath becomes resistance against chaos, and every exhale becomes worship. Peace don't ask permission. It enters when you finally let yourself breathe. Fam, here's the charge for this Overthinkers Hour. Choose peace on purpose. Don't wait till the storm calms. Don't wait till the anxiety leaves on its own. Don't wait till you figured everything out. Peace ain't passive, it's chosen. And every time you choose it, you remind hell that worry don't get the final word. This is what I need you to declare in the dark. I don't need permission to rest. Not from my boss, not from my schedule, not from my past mistakes, not from tomorrow's uncertainties. Peace is my inheritance, my gift, my weapon, my guard, and I choose to unwrap it right here, right now, in the middle of 2 a.m. Lift your head, fam. You ain't weak for needing rest. You ain't lazy for laying it down. You ain't broken just because your thoughts ran wild. You're human and you're his. And his promise don't change just because your brain won't quit. He said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Not maybe, not when you get it together. He said, "I will." And if he said it, it's sealed. So tonight, don't beg for peace, own it. Don't wait for peace to ask your thoughts for clearance. Let it flood your room like a wave. Don't measure peace by what you see. Measure it by who holds you. And the one holding you, don't let go. Fam, you survived the Overthinker's Hour, not by outthinking it, but by choosing peace in spite of it. And that choice, that's victory. Every time you say, "I receive," you resist the lies of the enemy and you reclaim your night. So walk in it, rest in it, live in it. Peace is already yours. Fam, as this 2 a.m. Overthinkers Hour closes, let me leave you with this truth. Peace is not a privilege, it's your portion. It don't show up because your mind finally behaved. It don't arrive because your plans lined up perfect. Peace is here because Jesus said it's yours. And if he spoke it, no lie in your head, no storm in your life, no fear in your chest can cancel it. So, when the what ifs start climbing back in, breathe and remember, even if God is still faithful. When the mental tabs try to open again, shut them down with his word. You will keep me in perfect peace. When the buffering wheel spins, whisper, "Lord, I trust you to load what I can't." Peace don't ask your permission. It interrupts your worry with God's authority. And once you embrace that, rest becomes resistance. Stillness becomes strength. And your night becomes testimony. So don't walk out this hour thinking you gotta earn rest. Don't step into tomorrow with the weight of tonight still on your shoulders. Lay it down, let it go. Let peace guard you like the soldier it is. You already got the gift. Unwrap it, breathe it, live it. And let the Overthinker's Hour be the place where peace planted its flag in your life. This ain't no temporary vibe, it's covenant. And covenant don't expire, which means tomorrow's storms can come, but they can't cancel what was given tonight. No? Peace is permanent. Peace is promised. Peace is yours. This ain't your Sunday school. This is YNB Spirituals. Book closed.